You deserve that punishment. You deserve to feel that pain. That pain, when you're out there lifting and your legs are shaking or your arms are shaking or whatever, that's that weakness that's leaving your body.
Yeah.
Right? That's what that is. That's you building a better you. So when we say, you deserve that punishment, I mean, it's for the better. It's for growth. It's for obtaining. And it's not just physical, What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Deep MCs, the podcast that seeks to push meaningful conversation to a whole new level. Whether it's for your entertainment or your personal growth, we appreciate you being here today. And now, on to the show. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Hey, man.
Oh, here we go.
Again.
I think that this is going to be episode number 3 in the Triggered series, maybe. I don't know. I feel like the last 2 that we put in the books were kind of angry.
I mean, man.
I was angry.
They were a little, on the angry black man side. But, hey.
Hey, it's okay. I'm going to put
it's who we
that,
are. We said deep, meaningful conversations, right?
And sometimes those can be ugly conversations.
Speaking of, man, I just looked down. We have some great merchandise here, man.
Amazing shirts. Amazing shirts. And I would like to, I'm curious what people think about the shirts that are on there. I know some people have been like, hey, I need one of those. I would like to have one of those. If you guys are interested in the DMC shirts, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know how you feel, and maybe we can make something happen for you guys if you're interested.
Be glad to.
Yes, for sure. We
nice V-neck.
V-necks, showing the cleavage, let the chest out a little bit, whether you're a guy, girl, whatever. Just let it be what it is. Right?
Yeah, man.
I love it.
Hey, dude, what are we doing today?
Today, Triggered series number 3. Episode 3. What we're gonna do today is I kind of want to. This has hit me and it's been bothering me a little bit, but I want to do something that we're going to call. Is everybody ready? You don't know who you are, but you deserve punishment. I think that is one of those things that it's not going to make a lot of sense to people at first, right? And that's when we have to elaborate.
We'll unpack it.
Yeah, we got to unpack it. And that's what we're here for, man. And this has been. We've all had some trials recently. You've had some trials recently. I've had some trials recently, and I know for me, as I'm going through hardships and people coming in your life, people coming out of your life, and work things and home things and everything else, like we tend to lose a lot of focus.
Yeah. And
not just in general, just in those things. Sometimes when I say that we don't know or you don't know who you are, I really genuinely mean that. I think a lot of times people are stuck in this revolving door of life, and it's a life that they have grown into, not necessarily the life that they want to live. And as I interact with people and I see, everybody has bigger dreams, bigger aspirations, whatever the situation may be. And that doesn't necessarily mean monetary, right? It's not like, oh, I just want to, have $1 million or whatever. There's goals in their life of things that they want to accomplish and things that they view their life should be, but they don't go after them,
right? Or
they're not pushed to achieve them, or they're whatever the situation may be. And a lot of people don't even know, literally don't know who they are. Like, who are you? What do you really stand for?
Man, the crazy thing is that sometimes we don't know until something comes to challenge, the status quo, right? I think it's one of those Newton's law of motion or something like that. It will stay in motion in a consistent place until acted upon by an an unbalanced force, right?
Right.
So
right.
an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. And so we'll continue in the same route. We'll continue in the same place unless something in life, unless something happens that boom causes us to rethink, causes us to adjust, causes us to step back and then come back a different way.
No, for sure. And that's where I really want to come back to this, because before, earlier on when we started out and we had conversations about goals and dreams and chasing them and whatever.
Right.
But really, this is about comfort. This is about being comfortable where you're at. And that's a terrible thing. And people are like, what are you talking about? I don't get it, you know? And right now, so if you have every single thing you've ever wanted in life and everything is going your way and nothing goes wrong and you've never dreamed about doing anything else, then get the fuck off this podcast right now, because this isn't for you. It's just not, right? This is about people that have goals or have dreams. I'm so tired of people telling me, I want to do this, but I want to be able to get there, but
yeah,
I want to be in shape, but I don't have time to work out. I want to have this hobby, but I don't have time because of work. I want to have this job, but you know, I'm good where I'm at. You know, I'm in a terrible relationship, but I mean, I've been here so long. Oh, I wish I could go do this, but I have these kids. Oh, whatever the situation is. Oh, well, you don't understand. You don't have kids, or you don't have this, or you don't have that. Right. You're making excuses for yourself.
We continue to make excuses.
It's always excuses.
It's something that we do to justify why we're not going to do the work, right?
Exactly.
You know,
and you deserve the work. You deserve the pain, the punishment. But on top of that, we're just too comfortable in our lives. We're too comfortable doing what we're doing. You know, it's right now. Why? You come home, you have a nice house, you eat a nice big meal. You have a big couch you can sit on, big TV you could watch. You get to go to bed comfortable in your big overpriced mattress, and you're getting all the rewards of comfort.
But you know what? For some people, that is enough. But I don't think the listeners, I don't think the people that we're talking to today would feel that way. Yeah, we could have the house, you could have the car, you can have all of those kind of things. But at the end of the day, I still think that there's more. I know that there's more. Not even a thing. There has to be more to it than that. I mean, one of the things, man, you know, we just, of course, you mentioned it, right? My dad just passed, right? And in his passing, one of the things that has come in my face is the vapor of time and how quickly things can change in a moment, right? And those plans that you had have to be adjusted or they'll never be fulfilled, right? Because a lot of my plans had him in it. Right? A lot of my goals he was a part of them, or I could see him, you know, playing a part or a role in those things. And without him being there, now there has to be some quick adjustments, right? There has to be some quick movements, because if not, we'll stay in this vein and nothing will ever be accomplished out of it, right?
That 100%.
You know, so here's the pain, right? Here's the pain that is then going to cause some things to adjust, to move, and then to go in a different direction.
Exactly, and that's what it's about. Pain isn't a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Pain is where growth is. If you are not experiencing pain on a daily basis, you are not growing. And I know they're gonna be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And it's the truth though. If you're comfortable and you're doing whatever and you're just living life, whatever, you're not experiencing anything new. You're not challenging yourself. You're not pushing yourself beyond your basic everyday limit. And you're never going to reach your true potential there. Mm-hmm. And there's a difference, right? So with that pain, there is struggle. With that pain, there are going to be no's. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of beat downs. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to figure out.
Uncertainty.
A whole lot of uncertainty with that, you know? And what you said though is very important about time. And it's one of those things that's so hard for people to grasp and understand. And I want everybody to really listen and hear what we're saying when we're talking about these things, because we're talking about these experiences because we've lived through them. And time is such a weird, fickle, funny thing. And time is infinite. There's so much time, and at the same time,
there's so little
time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's so little time.
Right.
So the moral of it is, don't waste the time that you have, because you never know
That's good, man.
what's gonna happen.
Yep.
And I remember, you know, like when my mom passed, like obviously you're experiencing your loss, and I've lost both of my parents. But one of the things that my mom told me when I was younger, and again when I spoke to her on the phone, and I remember very, very, very vividly when I was having a conversation with her, like I knew that she was getting ready to pass. Like it was in her tone, her voice, her aura, everything, the way that she spoke to me. And that's a whole nother story here nor there. But one of the things that she told me, and she told me, you know, earlier on, was there's going to come a time where I'm not going to be here. And when that day comes, don't let it change your course, because even though I'm not here, the world's still going to go on. You're still going to have to do your job. You're still going to have to do your dreams. You're still going to have to keep pushing forward, because that's not going to wait for anybody just because I'm not here. And that's a very important thing, because you go through life, and these things normally wake you up when they happen. And I was a little bit more prepared, I guess, in that sense. But a loss in the family, whatever it may be, usually is the big catalyst that sparks people into changing their mindset. Because holy shit, you know, we as a culture don't talk about death. We don't talk about loss. We don't talk about what happens when that time runs out. And that time could be any time. It could be, for me, it could be today.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, hell, it just could. And a lot of people need to take that approach. If ask yourselves, when you're out there, if you died today, are you happy where your life is at?
Right.
And not saying your life isn't, oh, well, I checked the box of having a house, and I checked the box of having kids, and I checked the box of having a wife or a husband, and I checked the box of having a dog or a cat or whatever it is. Like, those are material things and people and whatever, and that's fine, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you.
Right.
As an individual, you.
Yeah.
Void of everything else. Are you completely 100% happy where your life is at right now?
I mean, man, we every year, right? Every New Year's, you know, we make these plans, and I've made 3 or 4 vision boards over the last few years, right? That had goals on it, and most of them, you know, goals, achievable goals, not even some that were way out there, but some goals that short, medium, and long-term goals, the things you're supposed to do, right? And I looked at that vision board this morning, and I'm like, not knowing we were doing this show, right? But I looked at that vision board this morning, I was like, okay,
right.
We're in November.
Rolling to the end of the year.
November. Time did not wait for me to come back to that vision board and work through those things, right? And here it is, loss has hit the door, right? Time has definitely kept moving. And I'm like, okay, what are those things? And we talked about it as soon as we were about to begin the show. Hey, what's up with your workout, right? And so when my dad passed, before he passed, I was working out 4 times a week, right?
Right.
Working on my cardio, working to shave everything down.
Getting it together,
right? Because that was one of my goals. I hadn't done anything since he passed, right? So now that situation has shifted one of the things that I was intentional about. So now I have to be mindful, Aaron, you can't lose that.
Right.
You got to go back to that and work through that restarting pain,
Starting
to get back
all over.
in gear, to get back in gear. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, but that's a perfect example, right? And we did have that conversation. And for the people that are still confused, we can dive back in exactly what he's saying. And when you think about punishment, for all of you out there that want to be in better shape or live a healthier life,
right,
or whatever it is, right? I think we know Americans are generally overweight. A lot of us want to shave down a few pounds, myself included, and there's a punishment that goes into that, right? That punishment is you got to eat shit that don't taste good, right?
Right.
Nobody likes to eat foods that are not full
I'm a good old country Southern boy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That Southern home cooking is delicious. It is bad for your heart,
right,
and everything else, your arteries and everything. But it's delicious. But nobody wants to turn down the dessert or whatever. So yeah, it does feel like a punishment when you have to eat healthy, And they, as much as they say, oh, you can eat healthy and enjoy it, it's not good.
Yeah.
Or it's not as good as it can be, right? But that's a punishment when it comes to working out. Everybody gets out there and you start your initial workout and you get to a point where after that first day or maybe the first 2 days, you are so sore you can't even move and you really didn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
And people hit that wall and they hit that pain and then they stop. They say, I can't do this anymore, or I'm going to wait until the pain dies down, and then they never go back once it does. No, you deserve that punishment. You deserve to feel that pain. Mm-hmm. That pain, when you're out there lifting and your legs are shaking or your arms are shaking or whatever, that's that weakness that's leaving your body.
Yeah.
Right? That's what that is. That's you building a better you. So when we say, you deserve that punishment, I mean, it's for the better. It's for growth. It's for obtaining, and it's not just physical, and if it's in life, if you're not happy with your job or happy with your relationship or happy with your friends or happy, whatever, if people around you are not bettering you, right, then there's an issue.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't mean that they have to be the most successful people of all time, but they have to better you. No one should be draining you of your happiness. No one should be draining you.
Yeah, I mean, man, if you hanging out with your friends and you dread hanging out with your friends, because you're gonna come back, you're gonna come back more
exhausted.
tired, just completely exhausted. Then you may need to consider a different circle of people.
You got to have a different circle of people, right? And a lot of us don't. We get comfortable, like
we stick and we stay, right?
You stay right where it's at. Right. This is where my life is at.
I've known them since high school.
Yep, this is the. Let me tell you right now, I don't talk to nobody from high school. I couldn't tell you. I don't even remember half their names, to be honest with you. Hell, I don't talk to people from the last state I lived in, let alone high school.
Right.
But that's life, and that's growth, and you're not going to be the same person. Like, I don't understand if you think about yourselves, where you're at, whatever age you are, and unless you're 10, because this is not going to apply, but whatever age you are, take 10 years off. Mm-hmm. And is that person 10 years ago the same person that you are now? Do they have the same feelings, the same likes, the same goals? No, they don't. That person,
I would hope not.
Exactly. But the thing is that person is not the same person. We know it's not going to be, but you're still doing the same things, the same job.
You're still doing the same
processes.
Yeah, right.
And it's not working. And if it's not working, what are you going to do about it? I had a manager that I worked for, and it used to get on my nerves when at the time, but it made a whole lot of sense, because whenever you would come to her with a problem, or whenever you'd come to her with a trouble that you were having, whether it's work or whatever, the only thing that she would ask you is, what are you going to do about it? Mm-hmm. What are you going to do about it?
Right.
And I used to get so mad, because I'm just like, damn it, if I knew what the fuck I was going to do about it, I wouldn't have
come to you.
But it was the process of, she wanted you to think.
Yep.
Think it through and figure it out. And there's a lot of us out there who don't still, like I said before earlier, don't know who we are.
Yeah.
We think we do, like, and the process of knowing who you are is more than knowing what you want. And I think a lot of people think about knowing who we are is, I know that I want to buy a house. I know that I want to make this much money by this time. I know that I want to have a 401k by this much by this time. I know that I want to buy this 2023 car that's going to come out. Like, that's not knowing who you are.
Yeah.
That's wanting.
That's knowing some stuff you want.
There's no stuff that you want. Right. And even then, do you really want it?
Yeah.
And I question a lot of people now, especially when they say, "Hey, I want to do this." Do you really?
Man, this is good because it locks into something that I really been thinking, the last couple of days is who am I and what legacy do I plan to leave? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, what is it that's going to be left behind when I'm gone, right?
Yeah.
And so I've been, one of the things that's been pulling at me, and I think I've mentioned this on one of the shows. We have a lot of acreage of land in Louisiana, right?
Right.
And one of the things that has continually come back to me is drawing back to that property, back to that land, back to that self-sufficiency that was ingrained when I was such a young boy, right?
Right.
That my dad grew up in and then shared with me along the way. And so, you have these things that, I have all of this stuff. Yeah, we have all of this, these beautiful things here in Houston, Texas. But something keeps drawing me back to that, right? I've heard plenty of people tell me, "Oh, you need to be a pastor of this," or "I see you're going to be pastoring this church." Okay.
Right.
Okay, but what if my pastoring is in something different, right? What if it's leading people to something greater than a religious experience? But what if it really does lead people to something that they can take and they can grow from and build from? And it keeps pulling me back, man, like crazy, back to this land, back to this property, back to something that's going to take some effort. It's going to take some time. It's going to be filled with failure and failed crops and failed livestock and failed everything else. But at the end of the day, is that something keeps drawing me back. And when all is said and done, there has to be some kind of resolution to that for me, right?
Right.
Even with all of this other stuff, cars, houses, land, family, all of those other goals. There's something about that, man, that I think is part of my legacy.
But that's a good thing, right? Is that you're starting to fine tune and hone in on who you are and what you really want, and that's huge. And if we could get everybody to do that, then the world itself is going to be a better place, because at the end of the day, stuff is stuff. And one thing that I have learned about stuff is it doesn't fucking matter. It honestly doesn't fucking matter. And you accumulate, I think about coming up where I was to where I am now. I've been homeless and I've lived in my car, and I live in a house now, and you know what, the amount of stuff around me has not made me a better person. It hasn't done anything. And at the end of the day, when I die, because I know I'm going to, right? When that happens, or when you die, or when any of these listeners die, all of that stuff that you cherished so much is going to end up in the trash.
Yeah.
Because the person below you don't give two shits. It's going to be in the trash, or it's going to be sold for money so they can go get their stuff, but there's more to it. So you have to ask yourself, outside of these things, who am I and what do I really want?
Yeah.
And it takes time. And you people listening to this, like, you're not going to have that answer today. Some of you might, but time.
So what is, okay, so yes, we have the answer, because this is what we did in the previous show. We talked about, having these answers, having these goals, setting these things. Now we have to make a move on them.
We have to.
You have to make a move on them, because no longer can we say, this is what I want to do, without any effort. Faith without works is dead. So yeah, we can believe it. Yeah, we can think it's gonna happen. We can dream it and do all of these vision boards and ideas, but without some work behind it, somebody else is gonna have it, and you're gonna be mad because they did what was supposedly your dream.
Exactly. And that happens all too often, right? Everybody out there knows somebody, if it's not you yourself, where you say, man, I had that idea. I had that idea 10 years ago.
And you break out your notebook
of
with
everything.
With it in it, right? Written out.
The whole nine. But what did you do?
What did you do with it?
Nothing. You did nothing with it.
Yeah.
And that's so frustrating for me. And I want people to achieve their goals, and I want people to be able to get to a point where they're seeing these things. But that's what people need to understand, is that, yeah, we're telling you these things, and yeah, we're saying, hey, this is what it needs to be, and yeah, you need to figure out who you are, and yeah, you need to have this, and yeah, you need to have that, and yeah, you need to go after that. But at the end of the day, we come back to time, right? Mm-hmm. There's very little of it and so much of it, right? And it's not a half full, glass half empty type of thing. It's just the reality of the situation. There's enough time for you to get to and get on the path of your goals. There's not enough time for you to just dick around and waste. And it's going to be a process, and you have to start even if it's the smallest step, whatever the situation is. If you want to get in better shape and you want to work out, right? Take the baby steps. Mm-hmm. Do 5 minutes of walking extra today.
Right.
Do 5 push-ups if you can. Right. Do 5 sit-ups if you can. You know how long that's going to take you out of your day? 2 minutes. Right. Maybe.
And most of you are still at home.
Sitting on your ass, not working from home.
Get away from, because this is one of the things that just popped up, because we just talked about, we have to make a separation between work and home. Okay, I believe that's one of the things too. When it comes down to the physical health thing, I had to try to figure out, okay, Aaron, because this working from home thing is rough, right? Because now there's no separation between it. It kind of just blurs all of the lines, right? And I feel like I never left the office.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm walking up to where my office is in the house, and I feel like, I'm about to clock in, right?
Yeah.
So we have to begin to do the work, even in those moments, to realize I still have to make this separation. Yeah, I might be working from home, but I can't let that blur over into why I can't do this or why I can't do that. You still have a lunch break. Take it. Do your push-ups, do your sit-ups.
Do whatever you got to do.
Grab you a BLT and right? Something
and get on it.
And get back on it, right?
No, but that's true. I mean, that is true, and it is a lot harder for people that are working at home. And that's a question that comes a lot too, is in that process, like, oh, I work from home, but you know what? That also allows you so much opportunity that people aren't taking full advantage of being able to work from home. Yeah. When you're sitting there at your desk and you really ain't doing shit, you could be working on your other projects.
You listening to a podcast? Yeah. Not a podcast, but you listening to this presentation that you've heard 1,000 times at this point. And your camera's off. You don't have to have your camera on. Do some work, man.
Do some work and get it done. Baby steps.
Yeah.
You have the ability of, you're not having to have the commute time.
Right.
You're not having to have the get ready time. Some people just work in their pajamas. You have the ability to do something great.
It would take you an hour to get ready and get to work.
Yes.
Take that hour, that's 7 to 8. Get up at 7 like you would have normally gotten up, and take 7 to 8 and do some work.
Just be positive.
Right?
Be positive.
Put some work and some energy into that list of things you said you wanted to do by 2022.
Exactly. And that's where it really comes into it. And I hope that people are getting something from this. I hope people are getting fired up to kind of chase their dreams at it. But the work still has to be done. And
we don't have to wait till the new year to do this.
At all. And that's the thing, is people set those time. Whoa, I'm gonna wait.
Timelines.
Oh, well, you know what? I don't want to start working out because I'm gonna eat a lot during the holiday. Like, man, with that bullshit. No, how about this? How about portion control? Right? How about you can still
enjoy the holidays, but yeah, just don't eat, 5 plates.
You don't got to eat.
You don't have to.
You don't got to. And that's where I really need people to think and really put that effort in. Like a lot of this time, going after the things that you want, achieving the things that you want, in all honesty, man, a lot of it is mental.
Yeah.
A lot of it is mental. And that's the thing, is you don't want to push yourself to that point for whatever the reason is. And your mind controls your ability to achieve these things. And again, you're not going to get it tomorrow. You're not going to get it in a month. You're not going to get it in a year. And this thing's, well, you're telling me if I'm not going to get it in a year, then why should I even bother? Okay, well, at least you're going to get there. How far?
We've turned into this microwave society, though, man.
Instantaneous. Everybody
wants
it.
You know what I'm saying? If I can't do and it be done, you know what I'm saying, hot and ready.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes, right? Then if I can't walk in Little Caesars and get the hot and ready
and get it, then you
don't
want it.
And go, then I don't want it.
And that's where I think that we fail as a society. And I'm glad you said Little Caesars, right? Because Little Caesars pizza, yeah, it's great at fulfilling an instant need.
Yeah.
But it's trash.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between a microwave pizza and that good brick oven.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
The difference is time. And putting in the work.
It's really the difference is time.
The difference is time. Right.
And the brick oven. That's good, man. The brick oven takes some energy. You have to put the wood in. The whole thing has to warm up to a certain level, right? And be at the optimal cooking level in order for you to get the best pizza out of the oven.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. It's the time and the work and the effort building
you gotta experience that heat.
You got to get in there, burn your hands and everything else. But from that comes the most amazing product that you can get.
There's a clear difference.
Huge
in the hot and ready and the one that goes in the
and
oven.
The one that comes out of the oven.
Right.
And that's what I just keep striving and keep pushing people to understand and to really buy into and to take the steps to do it. Because you look around and it doesn't matter if you're not following your heart and your dream, you're never gonna be happy. You're just not gonna be. If you just keep your focus on the most minimal of things, when I get this, then I'll be like, you know what? You may be a hard worker and you may get up to that 6-figure salary, or you may get up to buying that car, or you may get that house. But then there's, as we said before, then what? What comes after that? And once you have that, it's not going to change your life. If you're not fulfilling your purpose, you're just going to have an item. You're going to have a something. And, people, I just hate to hear people that use excuses. I'm going to do this because it's going to be a better life for my kids, or I'm going to do this because it's going to be better for me, or this is going to change my life if I'm going to get this thing. And it always comes down to a monetary thing or a physical thing. And I'm not saying that those aren't achievable, or those aren't things that you should strive for, but those things that you're seeking, or those things that you're going after, those weren't always things. So that can't be your life's purpose, right? That brand new Grand Wagoneer with the 12 cameras and the DVDs.
They're pretty nice
screens. Dude, they're extremely nice, but they weren't thing. That wasn't even a thing 5 years ago.
They're
so
pretty
why,
hot though,
why
bro.
is that your focus, right? I mean, I want one. I do.
I'm just saying, hey.
But that's not what motivates me, right?
All right.
That's not what motivates me. I mean, I would love to have one and put it in my driveway and say, I got this, but that's not right. It wasn't a thing 5 years ago.
Yeah, right.
Having a 7-bedroom house, that wasn't really a thing. Like we get these new things, and that's what it's all about. They want to entice you to make you think that this is what you want, and distract you from what it is that you really want, what your real purpose in this world is.
Man, what I learned in the 15 years that I spent on the job, I'm coming into the realization now, after the whole situation, I started what I wanted was to continue to grow, right? The money really wasn't the biggest thing. It was the challenge of the job on a daily basis, right? And when I got to the end of that 15 years, I was looking for a challenge. I was miserable for the first time ever in that job. Is because I started at the bottom, and I worked my butt off, not necessarily for the money, like I said, but I enjoyed the challenge of going to work every day,
right?
Growing and developing and being somebody different, and looking towards the next goal. I didn't see another goal there, right? And so actually being fired was one of the better things that happened to me, is because it shifted my whole thought process.
Yeah,
it broke down this rut I had gotten into, because I was gonna stay with the hot and ready.
Hot and ready.
I was good with the hot and ready, right?
Yeah.
And I can do this because it's comfortable. I have these benefits. My family needs me. And never really would have stepped out into this entrepreneurship that has sustained me, even though I couldn't see it over here, and gave me a certain amount of freedom, a whole lot of freedom that I never would have had by taking another position over here.
It 100%, and that's what this is about, and that's what this is about, getting people to see, right? It shouldn't take the wake up call.
Having to be fired.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that. It shouldn't take someone dying. It shouldn't take getting hit by a car. It shouldn't take whatever, right?
Because catch this, I knew a year before that it was time to go. And the organization was going through transitions and everything, right? And I'm already seeing the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
I already knew it was time to go, and I stayed another year and applied for another position.
Yeah,
a lateral position, nonetheless.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Is that, and I know you probably know some people. I have people in my head right now that I'm thinking about. Does not just work situation, it could be work situations, personal situations, whatever. There's so many people out there that know it's time to go.
And
they don't. For whatever reason.
Yeah.
And
fully justifiable reasons.
And you're still sitting there doing the same shit, just miserable. Yeah. You're miserable at home because of so-and-so. You're miserable at work because of this, that, and the other. You're miserable.
And let's just say
yourself, and
that thing trickles off into every stage of life, every area of your life. And so because you're miserable in this position, don't think you are good enough to separate it from the rest of your life. It's going to transfer in it's going to transfer in your health, or it's going to transfer in your mentality. It's going to transfer in your responses to people. It's going to transfer somehow into your current situation, even though you feel like you've separated it and pushed it over here.
Oh no, it does 100%. You can't, you're going to be you no matter where you are. Like, you're going to be you, and you're going to take that with you no matter where you are. And it does affect, and it just gets more, and just piles on and becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And you can't carry it all. You can't hold it all. You can't take it all on. Like, it's not possible. It's very difficult. And I know that people stepping out and saying, well, they're scared. Mm-hmm. They're scared to make changes, or they don't feel that they can do it, or whatever the situation is. And I'm here to say that you can.
Yeah,
you can make those differences. You can bounce back. Is it going to be easy? Hell no. It's not.
Nobody said that it would be.
No one. And that's the thing, right? I think a lot of times people they hear these motivational speakers and they hear these people, and their job is to fire you up and get you excited, and you paid money to see them and all this other shit. And yeah, you come out, man, you come out kicking the door open and you're ready to go. And then the reality sets in a week later, and it gives you a gut punch, and it sucker punches you, and now you don't know what you're doing because you don't have that talk. So that's the thing, is it's not gonna be easy,
right?
You know, I can tell you my personal experience. I mean, going from a car to going to living in my house and doing everything that I'm doing was not fucking easy. There was several nights where it's, you know, 30 degrees, 28 degrees in the winter, and I'm freezing my ass off, shaking in my car, can't turn it on because I can't afford gas to keep the thing running. And I'm just wondering, is it ever going to get any better? Like, can I make it out of this? Like, I've had a lot of bad nights, but it was constantly going and constantly pushing and constantly trying and going out there and putting in that work. And that's where the difference is going to be. You have to do the work. You can't just expect that something's going to fall into your lap. You can't expect that something is just going to happen because you want it to happen. Like, you have to do the work, and you have to be prepared for it, and you have to constantly strive for it, and it's going to suck. It is going to suck. Walking away from a job, or walking away from a significant other, or walking away from a bad situation, or walking away from that plate of food into the gym, right? Like, all of those things are going to suck. But through that punishment, through that hurt, through that pain, on the other side of that is your growth.
Yeah, that's good.
And that is where you are going to reap the rewards and reap the benefits. And the less you eat, the smaller you'll get. The more you lift, the stronger you'll get. The more you cut negativity out of your life, the happier you'll be. It all has a positive ending if you do the work.
I mean, man, you'll be surprised how removing one person's negative conversation will propel your life.
Huge.
You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, that negativity just goes into your psyche, right? And if you're always faced with this person and you're dreading to see them, right? You already like, I don't really want to, hang out. But then you go do it because that's what you normally do. Yeah. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But that person continues to feed negative. Anytime you share your dream or share your goal, well, I don't know about that.
Negative.
I don't know how you're going to do it. How you going to do it? Well, you have this, this, and this. How you going to get that done? As opposed to trying to help you work through the process, that affects you, right? And so then you go home and you're like, yeah, they're right. And then you go back to your 9 to 5.
Yep, back to slaving away, not being happy.
But then move that person, shut that microphone off, take those headphones off.
Yes.
And you'll begin to see your life shift and move in a different direction for you. Because if you're better, then everybody else is better, right? Because if you're only giving people half of what you are, then you're not happy, and they're not getting the full fulfillment of purpose that you're supposed to bring to the earth.
100%, and that's where you're shortchanging yourself, And I want people to kind of again go back to time and just think about these things, because it is negativity. First of all, negativity is huge. Like, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Removing the people that are negative influences, and there's a difference between having a bad day and being negative.
Yeah,
let's clarify that. Excuse me.
Right.
Because, I mean, hell, I have a lot of bad days, but I still try to genuinely be. Sometimes, maybe not. Who knows? I try to be a positive person, but the purpose is, removing negativity is huge, and you have to be willing to take that step, whatever that negativity is, whether it's a person or a thing or whatever that's negatively.
So even life can set you up. Life's experiences can set you up to have a negative response to a lot of good things.
For sure.
because it becomes then a not a scapegoat, but a protection.
Yes.
Right. I don't want to feel like this is good because I've been hurt in this situation so much. So it's more than just people. It's more than just the external. It's more than just jobs. Sometimes we have to look within ourselves, look at the experiences that have caused us to feel the way we feel, fear what we fear, doubt what we doubt, and then also shovel through that crap.
Yes.
Right? Because if we can shovel that off, then now we can see a situation that's actually great for us in a different light. Right?
Yes, that is, and that's huge. And I mean, I've done that for sure. You know, it's a protection thing, you know, and you do shut off a lot of good things. I've done it myself. I'm victim of it myself, and it happens, you know, and it sucks. I guess for me, for everybody out there, I want people to really challenge themselves and to take on an approach. And here we are. We're coming towards the end of 2021. We're getting ready to go into 2022. And I don't want New Year's resolutions. I don't want, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I want to start today going forward through the end of 2022 and maybe 2023 or maybe 2024, depending on how big your dreams and aspirations are. And depending on how old you are, I mean, I can't pinpoint my age of all my listeners, but if someone was to come to you and they were to say, hey, this is what you want to do. If it's write a book, if it's start working out, if it's, you know, being healthier, if it's being in a better relationship, if it's finding someone new, whatever the situation is, and they say, if you put in the work every day, even if it's for 10 minutes, if you were to put in the work every day, starting today to the end of 2022 or 2023, hell, let's go all the way to 2024, three years from now, right? If you put in the work for 3 years to better the rest of your life, is that not worth that small sacrifice?
Yeah.
I want people to think about that. If you're 20 years old, 3 years, so by the time you're 23, you're going to have more time to enjoy than you've been alive right now. If you're 40, 3 years, 43, hell, let's say you live until 75. That's damn near your whole entire adult life still to enjoy for making a 3 year sacrifice from today. Is that not worth it?
Yeah. We got to keep things in perspective, man. You know, and I think, like you said, the goal is to start now, right? We don't have to wait until we create these wonderful goals at the end of the year, right? We can start a new year right now, you know, today.
Right here, right now.
One of the things that my dad said, he would always tell me, he's just like, you know, we would always get up early. There was never, you know, whatever we were doing, if we was fishing or cutting wood or whatever it was, we were getting up early before the daylight, before the sun came up, because he would say, hey boy, you're wasting daylight. Right? and it was those small things that mean a whole lot more today than they ever did, right? Because I'm wasting daylight because I want to be asleep. But what it means today is don't waste the time that you do have, right? Don't waste it, because there's going to become a time when you can't work. When you can't do what it is, time will run out, right? So don't waste it. Don't waste the daylight that you do have, because in the daylight, you can see things better. You can do things better. You can visualize better. So let's make sure that we are using the daylight that we have to accomplish the goals that we said we wanted to accomplish and to live our purpose in the earth, man. We have to, and we can't blame it on the pandemic again. Let's move past, let's move past COVID at this point, because whatever it is, we're going to have to live with moving forward. So let's figure out how to live with that, but still accomplish our goals. still live out purpose in the earth. Yeah, man, let's stop wasting daylight.
I love it. We'll just leave it on that. Stop wasting daylight. Hell.